do what is mine to do and release the rest. I am equipped with powerful spiritual tools to use toward creating the life of my dreams. Through prayer and meditation, visualization and affirmation, I am willing to work for what I want to see manifest in my life and in the lives of those I care about. Sometimes I can be so focused on what I'm doing that I forget the importance of stepping back from my efforts and releasing my attachment to specific outcomes. There is great peace that comes from knowing I have done all I can do, and then, in perfect peace and clarity, releasing outcomes to the divine that is in all people and circumstances. I heed my guidance to discern when to take action and when to yield to the activity of spirit. That's a very important message for us. When do we act and when do we just take the guidance? But strive first for the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. And that's from Matthew 6:33. And I also want to mention that, I don't want to embarrass her, I just want to mention that Kathy Arnold is back with us. She has been at home recovering and had surgery, and it's wonderful to have her back. So thank you for being here. And she's still in a boot, so please don't step on her when you hug her, because then she won't be coming again. Okay, Elliot, it's on you to get us singing God is My Source.
Yeah, we're going to stand and sing in just a moment. You guys can stand on up. I do want to apologize, though, that I made an announcement on Wednesday night that Chris Myers was going to be here playing some trumpet. Well, as it turns out, he got volunteered to work a shift of work this morning. So he kind of had to back out at some point after Wednesday, but he's very excited to come back, and we're going to have some trumpet here soon. But I just wanted to let you guys know I was not deceiving you. We had a little change of plans. But here we go. Let's stand and sing God is My Source. We got one more week of this one, Unity. So let's do it up good. God is my source, God is my power, God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. Love is my source, love is my power, love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need. Joy is my source, joy is my power. Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I need. My source, peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need. And back to God. God is my source, God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. Thanks, everyone, for singing it with us.
Good morning. All right, so just a reminder, like Suzanne already said, we are not having Sunday school next week. We're going to have a break for 4th of July, so you can go swimming and have barbecues at home for Sunday school. But if you do choose to come with your children, we will have some activities for them to do while they sit in the sanctuary. And we will pick right back up the following week on the 11th. All right, so today we are talking about order. And order is the ability to organize, balance, and sequence divine ideas, truth, and spiritual law. It is knowing that there is a divine order to the universe and everything in it. The first thing we must do in any situation is to see God in it. And I think that goes really well with today's fun excuse to talk about God with your family. So it says, pile all your items by the Bible and look up Ephesians 5:15. I already looked it up for you. And it says to have the sleepiest person in your family read it. And I am very sleepy, so I will read it. Look carefully how you walk, not as unwise, but wise. What do you think this means? In what ways could God say we're living wisely or unwisely? How might God want us to make wiser use of our times? What could we do to make juggling our schedules easier? Come up with a list of 3 specific ways you can work together to live more wisely as a family. I think it goes really well because you have to put in order what your priorities are as a family and how you're going to live those out each day. So you can think about that on your drive home today. Everybody, not just kids. All right, we're ready to go. You're welcome.
Walking in the light,
Thank
in
you.
the light, in the light. I am walking in the light, in the light of God. In the light, 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 in the light of God.
Isn't it great? I like that Emma's giving us lessons. I've asked her to share her lessons with us because I think we learn so that we can help the kids learn. And honestly, it just gives us another lesson to learn. So what could possibly be the harm in that, right? I had promised Mark Menard I would thank everybody who showed up yesterday to welcome his wife, Lisa. So thanks to everybody who was here yesterday. We had a nice little, thanks to Janet, we had all these beautiful printed signs. And thanks to our creative artists, we had more additional signs. And Linda Reed made me laugh yesterday when she said, boy, everybody's really different on Saturday. We were being completely silly and ridiculous, and we had all these beautiful signs. And then Jeffrey, and we're in Fellowship Hall, and Jeffrey yells, they're here. And we were not out at the street with our signs. So we go running out, and now we're all reading our signs, trying to figure out how to get in the proper order for the message. Yeah, it was a total comedy club. But anyway, we're, you got to give us credit for trying on Saturday morning. All right, I have 2 great stories. The first one is from Pinellas County. And this is, you may know this guy, Wade Saborn. He's called Wade Whiskey in Tampa Bay in the music scene. And he has delivered hundreds of guitars over the years to Purple Heart recipients and to Gold Star families. He calls the nonprofit Heartstrings for Heroes. Isn't that cool? Craig Gross is a Gold Star father. He lost his son Frank in 2011 in Afghanistan. Craig received a guitar with a picture of Frank on it. And he even wrote a song called They Buried My Son in Arlington that he plays on the guitar. And out of all the honors and awards bestowed upon their family, Craig said, it's this guitar that made the biggest impression. He personally believes that these are some of the bravest men and women out there, said Wade, the man who gives the guitars. Wade said every time he delivers a new guitar, in return he gets welcomed into a new family. He said, God brings people together for a reason, and I'm blessed to know them and have them in my life. Isn't that awesome? So, second story. This is great. You may have already seen this this week. The world's most premature baby, who had a 0% chance of surviving, had his first birthday this week. Richard Scott William Hutchinson is his name. He was born 5 months prematurely. Recognized by Guinness World Book of Records as the world's most premature baby, his doctors had prepared his parents for the worst. He was born at Children's Minnesota Hospital in Minneapolis after his mother, Beth Hutchinson, suffered medical complications that caused her to go into labor early. 131 days early, weighing only 11.9 ounces, he fit in the palm of one hand. And he was so tiny that they couldn't even do anything to help him. So when they received their prenatal counseling on what to expect with a baby born so soon, they were given 0% chance of survival. Due to the coronavirus, though, they weren't even able to stay in the hospital with their newborn. So they drove 51 miles each way to the hospital every single day for every day that all those months that child was in the hospital. We made sure we were there to give him support. I think that it helped him get through this because he knew he could count on us. In December 2020, after spending more than 6 months in a hospital, he finally went home. And he just recently, on the 5th, got to celebrate his first birthday surrounded by family and 3 dogs. So that's our good news stories for the day. Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, let's get ready for meditation and prepare ourselves for today's lesson.
Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Sanctuary for you.
Beautiful message. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary. So as we prepare ourselves for this time of meditation, I encourage you to just plant your feet on the floor. Relax your hands. Relax your neck. Take a few deep breaths. Clear your thoughts, leaving everything behind. And just think about the words to that song, becoming a sanctuary, pure and holy, where all the wisdom resides within you. And just let me share these words, taking in what is right for you. My life is a gift that allows me to choose my thoughts, my beliefs, my desires, and to discover my mission on earth. As part of that mission, I am free to explore and discover and allow my highest good to unfold. Through asking the right questions and seeking the right answers, I am led to the right and perfect actions that I need to take. Only questions that empower my life and help me find my way are the ones that I should be asking. Questions that reinforce my self-esteem and make me stronger. Questions that help me know where to contribute my time and how to improve my life. Life is always about asking the right questions and trusting that the answer to every question is always revealed. If I'm just willing to be patient and look and watch and wait for the right and perfect moment on the right and perfect day. When I think positively and ask the important questions in my life, I change the patterns of my thoughts and tap into the creative power within. The birthright of every human being is to find the wisdom within. It is never too late for me to explore my intentions or empower my thinking and to allow my thoughts and questions to help set the course for my life. Every single thing I need to know will be revealed if I'm just willing to ask. Let's take that in for a moment. Asking the right questions can change my life. So today, I think about only the questions that are important for me to ask. And with the light of God surrounding me, and the love of God enfolding me, I am at peace in this moment and open to learning what is mine to hear today. So one of the gifts we were all born with in life is the ability to discover life, to actually uncover all the answers that we need, and to discover life in the process. So as we're traveling our life, we have to figure out what exactly we're experiencing. What is the purpose of everything we go through? And what do we do with the experiences that we actually have on this journey? It's what we discover over the course of a lifetime that has everything to do with the spiritual attitude that we actually live with every day. We can either live our life in constant mystery, looking for all the things that are ours to unfold today, or we can dread our life and be in constant misery. It's a choice we make. We make that choice every day. Is it mystery or misery? And what determines that is our spiritual center and the attitude that we have every day. In every experience, we uncover things. We uncover the process. We look for what is behind those closed doors, right? What are those little pieces, those nuggets of information? And as we go through that process, we either look for the right things or we start to fear them, and then we shut down and we don't open our lives. But whether we do this consciously or subconsciously, it's a chance for us to empower ourselves as we're discovering life and either be the people who discover or create more suffering for ourselves by the kinds of questions we ask. It all starts with the things we ask. And we ask questions all day long of ourselves. We all know, should I this, should I that? Do I this, do I that? Right? All day long, that chatter goes on. And in the majority of the questions, we actually already know the answers. We're always a step ahead. We already know the answers. So when we ask questions like, what's going on here? We actually know the answer usually before we ask the question because we used our visual to decide what was going on or what we heard. So most of the time we're asking with some sort of perception that we already know what we're looking at. Okay, let's say you walked into a room and you saw a bunch of kids, okay, just having a heyday, and the room was covered in paint. You ask the question, what's going on here? Okay, really, you don't know? I mean, let's be honest. Do we know or we don't know? No, we know. So why do we ask those questions? Why do we ask questions that do nothing to help us? Is it really going to help us to say, what's going on here? No, you're just going to be madder because they're going to go, we were painting. Okay, great. What were you expecting? Right? But the question will determine whether we are empowered to fix the situation or whether we are going to suffer even more than what we're already feeling. It's always about the questions. So the truth is that during our most difficult times, that is when we ask the worst questions. It's during our most difficult times that we ask questions that do not help us. Questions like, why is this happening? Why did I deserve this? What is the universe trying to tell me now? Okay, what do you think the answers are going to be? Let's walk through that for a minute, okay? Why is this happening? Because life never seems to go right for me. Okay? That's the answer that's coming back when we ask questions that don't empower us. A question like, what did I do to deserve this? I am unworthy of happiness and joy is what the answer will be. I'm not meant to be happy. My life has never been good. Those are the things we will say in our difficult moments. And don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. Yes, I see you looking at me like, oh, not me. What is the universe trying to tell me now? What do you think we're going to hear back? Well, if there is a divine power, it certainly forgot my house. Right? So we ask things that only make our lives harder. And yet questions can be so empowering. In Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul, he says that when something's bothering us, we should ask ourselves questions like, what part of me is being disturbed by this, and what can I do about it? What is it that's really bothering me? I want to do a little exercise if we can, and you can play along if you would. So I want you to close your eyes, and I want you to reflect on your worst moment this week, one of your worst moments. Just close your eyes and recall it. And with your eyes closed, imagine yourself, whether you were on the phone, you were online, you were talking to somebody, you were face to face, what was running through your head? Think about that for a minute. Okay, now I want to ask you this. Open your eyes. How many of you heard or reflected on a question that supported you? How many of you were empowered in that moment? Few? One? Couple? Okay, how many of us recalled being in a negative space in that moment? Okay, just so you know, the majority of us are going to recall a question that put us in a negative place. We are going to always err on the side of difficult times to that place of woe is me. But the million-dollar question for us today is why? Why do we do that? Spiritual, empowered people that we are, these mindful people who practice, we come to church, we work together on this stuff, and yet we still go to that place. Why? Every female in this room had a conversation with herself in the mirror this morning. Every female. Okay? Oh my gosh, what is happening to my hair? Is it the humidity or me? Okay? Why do I have bags under my eyes? Gee, how come I look so tired? Ooh, does this look good on me? Maybe I should change. It's just one more outfit to sweat in for the day. Is that another wrinkle I see? Okay, women, we all know it's true, me included. We all know it's true. We do not look in the mirror and say things to ourselves that build our self-esteem. We don't. Why? Imagine if we looked in the mirror and said something empowering to ourselves, like, wow, I think this might be my best day yet, don't you think? Hey, did my hair ever look better than it does today? And am I looking younger or is it just me? Okay, we should try it. I'm just suggesting we should try it. We would start our days so much better. And men, don't think you're off the hook. Yeah, I know you have questions, but let's take them on the road, okay? So I want to know how many of you today, and you don't have to raise your hand, but how many of the men in our congregation this morning had a talk with themselves or said out loud, does anybody see what that driver's doing beside me? Does that person think they can get away with doing that? Are they really going to park here? Is that the place to park? Okay. Can anyone beside me be on time on Sunday mornings? Go ahead. Tell me that didn't happen. Imagine how much more relaxed, guys, that you might have been if you had started your day saying, I wonder if this driver is okay. Is there anything I can do to help? Maybe I could get out and help this other person figure out how to park so that we can make more room in the parking lot. How lucky am I to have somebody riding with me today? Late or not. And what about the times when we think someone's upset with us and we ask ourselves questions like, why is that person upset with me? Where do they get off thinking it's my fault? I'm the problem. Wouldn't it be better if we said, what if this isn't about me? I wonder what I could do to help. During our most challenging times, we need to learn to empower ourselves and ask questions that support us, like, how can I use my experience to get me through this challenge? How can I use my spirituality and my faith to help me today, in this moment? What information do I already have that would be useful now, and I could get myself back on track in this moment? One of my favorite Bible verses comes from Luke 11, verses 9 and 10. And they are taped in my desk. It's been over a decade that they sit on the top of my desk. And it says, and so I tell you, keep on asking, and you will receive what you ask for. Keep on seeking, and you will find. Keep on knocking, and the doors will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who seeks finds, and for everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. Ask the right questions. And by the way, this message will work with us or against us. Because if we ask things of a universe that gives us what we're looking for, imagine every time you ask a question like, why do bad things happen to me, what you're going to get back. More bad things because you're asking. Why do bad things happen to me? Because you keep asking more. So let's think about what we're asking. But let's also be mindful of how important asking the right questions is in terms of our future. How will we discover things? How will we walk forward? How will we find the right and perfect job if we're not asking empowering questions? So what can I do today to improve my experience in my job? What can I do today to build the life I desire? That might actually prompt us to look forward. And what spiritual lesson would help me today, since I feel the need to be more empowered? There's a great story I want to share from the 1940s that speaks exactly to the importance of asking the right questions for our futures. A gentleman named Edwin Land was on vacation back in the 40s with his 3-year-old daughter. He snapped a picture of her using a camera, a standard camera. She wanted to see the results right away, not understanding that the film at that time needed to be taken in to be developed. She asked, Dad, why do we have to wait for the picture? And after hearing his daughter ask the why question, he wondered, is there a way to develop film inside the camera? He then went on to discover for himself how to make this work and spent a long, long time building it out, bringing the camera to his darkroom, and then trying to figure out how to get a darkroom into the camera. And that one question led to the Polaroid instant camera. A 3-year-old inspired an adult to be creative enough to build a Polaroid camera. It all started with that naive question, a great reminder of the power of fundamental questions. So we can ask questions that keep us stuck, which is worthless. We can ask questions that negate us, which is useless. Or we can ask questions that support us, which is priceless. Let's look at our takeaways for today. Asking the right questions can change your life if you're willing to do the following. Number 1, pause for a moment of reflection before asking anything. Grounding yourself spiritually will ensure you ask the right questions. Number 2, be your own champion. The universe will only support what you believe. Number 3, empower yourself in every situation. Seek the answers that will actually help you, not derail you. And number 4, remember, everyone who asks receives an answer. So we have to be open to all messages, regardless of our desired answer. Our affirmation today, let's say it together. Asking the right questions empowers my life. And before I end with a quote, I just want to say this. I want to challenge you to try this. I have literally taught leaders around the world for years, when they're having disciplinary conversations, to stop making statements and to ask questions. I've seen multiple people terminated through questions without ever a statement being made. If you ask questions, your life becomes so painless, and you start to feel like it's so much easier to navigate difficult things. If we do it in the corporate world every day, I know we can do it in our lives every day. But you have to think about what you're willing to ask and whether or not you're looking for something that will make your life easier or just make you doubt yourself. The quote today is from Josh Ross, and it says, "Faith doesn't run deep because one is stuffed with the right answers. It is cultivated by asking the right questions." Let's take that in. So we pause now and we affirm that within the wisdom within us, within that sanctuary, all the answers will come forth. We know and trust that no one outside of ourselves is pulling the strings on our life. It is within us to search deep within and connect with our highest power, the highest gift we were given, and find the right questions that empower us and eliminate our suffering. Amen. If you are in need of personal prayer, please feel free to reach out to us. Linda does an excellent job of making sure our wonderful chaplains receive all of the information so they can pray during the week. And she keeps me informed, and we have multiple ways you can submit a prayer, so please don't hesitate to reach out. And as I may have said before, after 30 days, we send those prayers to Silent Unity, so they continue to be prayed for even when we send them. Okay, I want to thank, before I forget, Elliot, Michael, Alvon, and Duncan, and David back there, and Michael in the foyer, the little narthex, sitting on his high chair. Thank you all for helping to make our service come together every single Sunday. And I think Elliot is about to lead the band in performing Maybe the Rain.
That's correct. And thank you, Nancy, for another wonderful message. Yes. So this song that we're going to perform is, as Nancy said, it's one of mine. And oh, it says it's one of my dad's, apparently. That's a typo. That's okay. That's okay. That was probably me in the email that got that wrong. But I will say, so the lyrics to this song are somewhat mysterious, somewhat vague in their meaning. But I think that if they were going to fit with any sort of talk, it would be today's. So here we go. Maybe the meaning's never clear. Maybe this will be my year to understand. Oh, I want to learn your secrets out, but I can't discern anything. Maybe the rain stopped by to say, all in good time. You'll see why I came. Not that it matters, just stay dry always. In little homes and hotels on the plains. Maybe there's something left to see. Maybe your point is lost on me. When I'm like talking to a cold brick wall, you can hear me coming down the hall. Maybe the rain stopped by to say, all in good time. You'll see why I came. Not that it matters, just stay dry always. In little homes and hotels on the plains. Some things in this life are a mystery. Just don't hate what others believe. It's each other's points of view we should struggle to see. Maybe the rain stopped by to say, all in good time. You'll see why I came. Not that it matters, just stay dry always. In little homes and hotels on the plains. Thanks, guys.
Intended to put your dad's name in lights since he was coming.
It's appropriate.
It is appropriate.
He missed it last week.
I know, he
so-
missed it. Yeah, you know, he had to watch it online. He got to see his name in lights. So, you know, a double, by the way. So, just saying. All right, it's time for our affirmation, our giving affirmation. And I want to suggest that if you have an offering today, that you put it in your hands and you say it, the prosperity prayer with your offering in your hands. Let's join together. I have faith in God, my constant, abundant supply and supplier. I have faith in God to open ways when to the human sense there is no way. I have faith in God to guide me in all my ways, and my health, happiness, and prosperity are assured. Thank you, God, for your abundant good, now flowing forth to meet my every need. And thank you for all the good you bring to us. I will turn it back over to you. For I am creating my highest good. Is this the song you actually broke your guitar string on this morning?
Don't jinx it.
Okay, just asking. Do we need to be prepared?
Yeah, but this time if I break a string, we're just going to play on through it, all right? I'll figure it out. Woo! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh. I am creating my highest good. Those doors are opening just like they should. I am creating my happiness. I try to catch it all as it goes flying past, but I believe it, see it, then before I know it, my world will suddenly show it. Yeah, yeah. I am creating my highest good. New doors are opening, that's understood. I am creating a better life. I wake up every day and everyone is nice. So I believe it, see it, and then before I know it, my world will suddenly show it. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, here we go. I am creating, I am creating, I am creating my highest good. I am creating, I am creating, I am creating my highest good, yeah. I am creating my highest good. I'm making new ways that I never would. I am creating a better space. I wake up every day in my right and perfect place, and I believe it, see it, and then before I know it, my world will suddenly show it. Yeah, yeah. Here we go. I am creating, I am creating, I am creating my highest good. Can you guys sing that part with us? I am creating, I am creating, yeah, I am creating my highest good. My highest good, my highest good. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you very much. So I will share with you guys, it was pretty funny when I broke the string playing that song this morning, because the band proceeded to, the band being Alvon and Michael, proceeded to pretty much jam on that groove for the next 5 minutes by themselves. And we agreed that, you know, if the song before this went south, that they were just going to go into that jam, and they were going to play the rest of the service without me. So. Helps to have a good team behind you. Let's stand and sing the peace song this morning, everyone. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment with peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And now let's join together for our prayer of protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is great. All right, I hope you'll walk over to Fellowship Hall and enjoy some of the treats that we have such awesome people delivering every week, and such a great idea. Thanks to all the helpers today and donors. And if you don't know somebody, introduce yourself today.
Might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here, we can take a break. Like a hot air balloon, I can go to space. With the air like I don't care, baby, by the way. Because I'm clapping along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I'll clap along if I feel happiness is the truth. Yeah, yeah. Clap along if you know what happiness means to you. Ooh, clap along if you feel that's what you ought to do. Here comes bad news, you're talking this and that. Yeah, give me all you got, don't hold it back. Yeah, I should probably warn you, I'll be just fine. Yeah, no offense to you, don't waste your time. Here's why, because I'm clapping along if you feel like a room without a roof. Because I